Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Football Discussions. And before we get started, just want to remind you that we are going to be doing the 32 GM subscriber mock draft. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you are. It's once we hit 1,000 subs, you could have a chance to be one of the GMs in the 32 subscriber mock draft. We'll do like 3 or 4 rounds. You guys can make trades with each other. Should be pretty chaotic, pretty fun as well. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Road to 1,000 subs. And I'm sure a lot of you Giants fans watching this video, because we're doing a team mock for the New York Giants today, would want to be the Giants GM. So let me know down in the comments. And again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for a chance to be selected to do that. We can do multiple, but let's just hit 1,000 subs. We're very close. I think we're at like 870 right now. But regardless, let's get into this team mock draft for the New York Giants. We're going to be doing 7 rounds. It's going to be their TDN, the Draft Network's predictive board. This is their draft simulator. Their board isn't great, and neither is their simulator, but I need a board with up to 300 prospects here. So we're going to do it. They also have a trade simulator that at times can be fun, but also they overdo it. At other times, we'll get like 50 trade offers in a row. Gets pretty annoying. Hopefully, this all goes well, though. And we're going to hit start the draft and see how it goes. Trevor Lawrence at 1, Zach Wilson at 2, Penei Sewell at 3, Justin Fields at 4, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts to the Eagles is an interesting one. I think Jalen Waddle's still available, so we're going to decline the trades that just came in. And he is. As much as I think Micah Parsons is a great player, he's the best defensive player in this class. Check out my big board. I did top 50 players in this class. Don't have my top 300 yet. But if you want to check that out, that's on the channel. He's the best defensive player in the class. Would be a great fit in New York. I think Jalen Waddle is just overall the biggest need and one of the better players available, if not the best player available in right now. So Jalen Waddle to the Giants just makes the most sense. They need a dynamic playmaker. They need someone that Daniel Jones can throw to. I genuinely think the dude's a quarterback or a a pure number 1 wide receiver away from being a decent quarterback in the NFL. I don't think you can argue with me, Giants fans, that he's good right now. He's pretty damn bad. But again, I think with a little help at the wide receiver position, which he doesn't have much of right now, he could be pretty good. And I'll tell you what, Jalen Waddle is one of the better receivers I've ever scouted. So a great pickup there in the first round for the Giants. We'll see what's available for us in the second round. Have some trade offers here. A 2 and a 7 to move back 2 spots, not even close to worth it. A 2, a 4, and a 5 to move back 20 spots. I don't think I'm going to do that one either. Jason Owe just went. He's an edge that I was looking for to fill a role or a need for the Giants. Wyatt Davis being here could fill that interior offensive line hole. Guys like Kevin Zeitler, guys like Will Hernandez might not be on the team for much longer. But Joe Tyron being here, I'm going to take Joe Tyron. He's a guy that could end up filling the edge need for the Giants. He's a guy that's borderline first round. A lot of people have been mocking him there, and I'm talking about like the big guys. I think Todd McShay, Daniel Jeremiah, and Matt Miller all mocked him in the first round. So getting a lot of buzz around his name, someone that I went back and scouted once I saw that he was getting a lot of buzz on his name, and someone that I'm pretty fond of. He gets after the quarterback pretty well, applies pressure to the quarterback. I think he's a redshirt junior out of Washington. So a good overall player. And again, someone that's great value at this point, and I think he does fit the Giants scheme pretty well. Can be that edge rusher. Obviously, you have Leonard Williams providing interior pressure, Dalvin Tomlinson up the middle, and Dexter Lawrence up the middle. He can be that outside linebacker that can be your edge rusher, and I think Joe Tyron I think he's, what was that? What did that say? 251, perfect weight for that role. So Joe Tyron to the New York Giants at 43, great pickup there. Carlos Basham just went off the board. He would be another guy to fit that role pretty well. Had a great Senior Bowl, but I think with the buzz around Joe Tyron and how well he played this year and how high people are on him right now, I think it was a great pickup there for the Giants. We're going to see what's available in the third round. I don't think there's necessarily a need to trade up right now. I'm looking at linebacker, Baron Browning, Chaz Surratt still on the board. That might be worth it, but I also don't want to give up the third round pick. I think we might trade back up into the third round with guys like Jabril Cox and Jamin Davis being so low on this big board. This is what I meant when I say they overdo it with the trades. I don't want all these trades offers in a row. Not every team's trading back 24/7. But regardless, Chaz Surratt's still on the board. Probably should have accepted that trade offer. He just went. He's in my top 20. Again, if you want to see the reasoning behind that, check out the big board video. But Jabril Cox still being here, he's another guy like Joe Tyron, getting a lot of buzz recently, been a fast riser this offseason, someone with great technique. He's a freak athlete, can play coverage very well, and he's, I think, like 233. Yeah, 6'3", 233 pounds. Can be a mauler as well. So Jabril Cox, I think, fills the role of linebacker. Can be that dynamic playmaker that the Giants need at linebacker. Can be that coverage linebacker that the Giants need at linebacker with his athleticism. I think it's just too good a value to pass up on. Corner is another. Ifeadi Melifonwu is here. I think he's one of the bigger corners I've ever seen. Yes, 6'2", 212, dude. He's a big corner. God, that makes it very, very intriguing to take him. I'm going to take Ifeadu, I can't pronounce his name, Melifonwu. I think he's a second-round talent. Getting him in the third round is a hell of a steal and could be that boundary cornerback alongside James Bradberry that the Giants need. So I'm going to take him, and then I'm looking to trade back up in the third round for another linebacker. So Tylan Wallace just went. I didn't want to trade with the football team because it's interdivisional and it'd be unrealistic. But with Jabril Cox still being here, I think we can work out a deal with the Chargers to get Jabril Cox and just get absolute playmakers going in this draft. So the Giants have 2 6 rounds and a 5th left. They don't want a 4th or 6th. I don't blame them. What about a future 4th? 2 4s, and I'll get rid of the 6th. I don't like that either. Would you do it for a 5th, a 4, a future 5, and a 6? Let's see if we can get this done, boys. So we trade our 4th round pick, a future 5th round pick, and a 6th round pick. And again, we still pick in the 6th for Jabril Cox. Love that trade. So not only did we get Ifeadu Melifonwu in the 3rd round, we get Jabril Cox. We now have gotten 4 starters for the Giants in this draft class. Jalen Waddle, dynamic playmaker, automatically your wide receiver 1 for the New York Giants. Joe Tyron, great edge, fills a need for the Giants at edge, gets after the quarterback, automatically a starter for the New York Giants. Ifeadu Melifonwu, great potential, really high ceiling, balled out at the senior. I think he's a senior. He's a redshirt junior. I'm pretty confident he was at the Senior Bowl. I don't know how that works with redshirting. But regardless, had a great season this year for Syracuse. Played very well. And, I mean, his size, I think, is one of the most exciting things about him. He's just an absolute beast at corner. And then Jabril Cox, extremely good linebacker, highly underrated on this big board. We get him in the 3rd round as well. Again, we had to get rid of our 4th and our 5th, I believe. Or, no, we don't even have a 5th. So a 4th, a 5th, and then a 6th next year. We pick in the 6th round, I believe, around like 197. But the Giants still got a lot of good players here. These are 4 starters for the New York Giants. You got your boundary cornerback, your edge rusher, your wide receiver, and I think a guy that can definitely be the Giants starting linebacker. So this has been a really, really solid mock draft for the Giants so far. We're only going to be taking 5 picks in this draft with the trade that we made. I don't think that's the end of the world. I'm kind of just going to look around. We pick in, I think, like 30 picks, but just going to see the guys that are going to be available. Daz Newsome is still available. Does he go very soon? Most likely, as we're at he just went. Anthony Schwartz, he just went as well. Shi Smith is a really fun player for the Giants. I might just take him to get Daniel Jones another weapon. We could still address the offensive line. Alaric Jackson being here, he's a guy that could definitely slide into the inside for the Giants. Tommy Kramer being here as well. He just went. But again, we're picking fairly shortly here in the 6th round. As I think it's 197. I'm pretty confident that I saw one. Yeah, it's 197. So I'm probably torn right now between Alaric Jackson, who I think is a terrific player, another guy that's been around forever, played very well at the Senior Bowl. He was locked down at the Senior Bowl at offensive tackle. Didn't really let anyone by him. I think it's more realistic that he slides into guard, and that's why I would pick him for the Giants. But okay, Shi Smith's off the board. Then I'm taking Alaric Jackson. Huge pickup there for the Giants. And again, I'm going to pause the draft because we're done. Their interior offensive line situation isn't necessarily the greatest right now with guys like Zeitler and Hernandez on their way out. So while Alaric isn't a player that could necessarily is going to start for you this year, he's definitely a future starter for the Giants and another guy that the draft network has extremely low on their big board and won't be there in the 6th round, but it was fun to take him. So again, this was one of my favorite mock drafts I've ever made for a team. We addressed so many needs, got so many good players. Jalen Waddle, Joe Tyron, Ifeadu Melifonwu, and Jabril Cox, all starters for the Giants this year. And then wrapping it up with Alaric Jackson at the end there, definitely a future starter at guard for the New York Giants, someone that can slide inside and is projected to slide inside right now. So overall, fantastic draft. We fixed a lot of the Giants' needs, got them some absolute playmakers on defense, and then got, of course, Danny Dimes, his wide receiver 1, his X factor, his dynamic playmaker in Jalen Waddle. So fantastic draft. If you enjoyed this draft, Giants fans, please leave a thumbs up on the video. And of course, if you want to be a part of the 32 GM subscriber mock draft, make sure you're subscribed, as well as we're just producing draft content all the time, reacting to mock drafts, making team mock drafts, making full mock drafts. My most recent and updated mock draft is still on the channel. I think it's 6.0, and then of course my top 50 players. All those videos available to you. We're going to be producing content almost weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week, depending on how my schoolwork is. But regardless, this was a fun video, and again, one of my favorite mocks that I've ever made. So please give it a thumbs up, Giants fans, and take it easy, guys. Peace.